All right, so we're diving into something pretty cool today, using podcasts to really boost your English skills.
Yeah, looks like we've got a ton of great resources on this.
Definitely seems like you guys are all about finding practical ways to immerse yourselves in the language.
And that's what we're going to try and unpack today, right?
Exactly. We're cutting through all the clutter to give you the absolute must-know strategies to make those podcast hours really count.
You know, what's so cool about podcasts is they're just so accessible.
You can listen on pretty much any device.
Yeah, and the variety is just incredible. Like, there's literally a podcast for every interest imaginable.
Totally. And think about it. You can learn while you're commuting.
Working out, doing chores, it's like sneaking in learning.
Exactly. It's like squeezing those extra minutes of learning into a super busy day.
And that seems to be a big thing for you guys, you know?
Finding ways to learn quickly, but also thoroughly, without it feeling overwhelming.
Exactly. So how does just listening to a podcast actually make your English better?
Yeah, what's the magic behind just hearing people talk?
Well, think about it. The more you're exposed to a language, the more natural it becomes.
Like it just becomes a part of you.
Right. And textbooks, they tend to present this really polished, kind of artificial version of English.
But real conversations are messy, right?
Totally. And that's where podcasts come in.
People umming and ahhing, correcting themselves.
Exactly. It's like a real-life language boot camp.
It trains your ear to handle the unpredictable flow of natural speech.
Which is what you're actually going to encounter out in the world, right?
It's way different from reading a perfectly structured sentence in a textbook.
Absolutely. And through this constant exposure, you know what happens.
What?
Your listening comprehension just naturally improves.
You start picking up on the rhythm, the intonation, the subtle cues.
And even if you miss a word here or there, your brain starts filling in those gaps.
It's like your brain's rewiring itself for English.
Pretty much. And you start picking up new words and expressions almost effortlessly.
It's amazing how much you can learn without even realizing it.
That's the beauty of context, right? You hear a new word used in a conversation.
You figure out what it means based on what's being said around it.
It's like a mini puzzle each time you encounter a new word.
And that kind of learning sticks with you, right?
Way more than just memorizing a definition from a list.
And for our listeners who are super busy, juggling work, family, everything.
The beauty is you can learn on your own terms.
Pop in your earbuds while you're commuting, exercising, even doing the dishes.
It doesn't have to feel like this big chunk of time carved out of your day.
It just blends into your routine.
Which, again, seems to be a big priority for you, efficient learning that fits into your life.
Okay, so we agree, podcasts are amazing, but where do you even begin?
There are literally thousands out there.
It can be totally overwhelming.
Yeah, so let's break it down by level, starting with beginners.
All right, for those just starting their English journey, where would you point them?
So clarity is key for you guys. Start with podcasts with clear pronunciation, a slightly slower pace.
You know, something like the British Council's Learn English podcasts.
Those are fantastic, short, manageable episodes, really clear pronunciation.
And they have transcripts, which is super helpful.
Huge. You can read along as you listen. It really helps solidify your understanding.
Especially when you're just getting started.
For sure. And another great one for beginners is The English We Speak by BBC Learning English.
Those are short and sweet, perfect for those little pockets of time you have throughout the day.
They focus on really useful everyday expressions and idioms, the stuff you'll actually use.
And then there's ESL Pod, which is a bit more structured.
Yeah, the hosts break things down a bit more, explain vocabulary and grammar.
It's like having a teacher right there with you.
Okay, so those are some solid starting points for beginners. Clear pronunciation, shorter episodes, and those extra resources like transcripts are really valuable.
Now, what about for those who are a bit further along, the intermediate learners?
So you guys are ready for a bit more of a challenge, right?
Bring it on.
All right, so BBC 6-Minute English is a great one.
6 minutes. Even I can handle that.
Exactly. Perfect for a quick but effective study session.
And they cover such a wide range of topics, it's always interesting.
Plus they have transcripts, so you can really dive deep if you need to.
Another good one for intermediate learners is Voice of America's Learning English.
They offer news stories adapted for English learners, so you can stay up to date on current events.
It's a good way to learn about what's going on in the world while improving your English.
Absolutely. And then there's the Real Life English podcast.
These guys get into some more of the nuances of spoken English, right?
Yep. Pronunciation, connected speech, those little things that make you sound more natural.
It's like unlocking the secret code of how native speakers really talk.
Okay, so for our advanced learners, you're ready to take to the next level.
Absolutely. Bring on the complexity.
All right, so All Ears English is fantastic for you guys. They focus on really informal English.
It's about sounding natural, confident, like you really own the language.
And then there's TED Talks Daily, which is a classic.
You get exposed to all these fascinating ideas and perspectives.
And you're picking up tons of sophisticated vocabulary along the way.
It's like a brain boost and a language boost all rolled into one.
No, the Tim Ferriss Show, this one's for the deep divers.
It's long-form interviews with really accomplished people.
You get to hear these in-depth conversations, pick up on the nuances of how native speakers communicate.
It's a master class in natural flowing conversation.
And finally, Stuff You Should Know. This one's just pure fun.
They explain all these interesting topics in a really engaging way.
You'll be learning tons of new vocabulary without even realizing it.
It's a great way to stay motivated and keep that learning momentum going.
So as you can see, there's a podcast out there for everyone, no matter your level.
And remember, you don't have to listen to all of them. Just find a few that resonate with you.
Now, once you've found some good podcasts, how do you make the most of them?
It's not just about having it on in the background, is it?
No, you've got to actively engage with the material.
Like active listening, really paying attention to what's being said.
A good tip for that is taking notes, jot down new words or phrases.
It forces you to be more present with the material.
And then you can look them up later and really cement them in your memory.
Another thing you can do while you're listening is pronunciation practice.
Repeat sentences, phrases, pay attention to intonation and rhythm.
Mimic those sounds. It really helps solidify your own pronunciation.
And don't forget about transcripts. If they're available, use them.
Reading along as you listen helps reinforce those words and grammatical structures.
It's like a double whammy for your learning.
And then there's the repeat and shadow technique. That sounds intense.
It is, but super effective. Listen to a short segment, pause, and then repeat it verbatim.
Trying to mimic the speaker's pronunciation, intonation, everything.
Like you're their echo. It helps you internalize the natural flow of the language.
And you mentioned gradually increasing the difficulty of the podcast you listen to.
Yeah, start with something comfortable and then work your way up.
Challenge yourself, but don't jump into the deep end right away.
And make sure to expose yourself to different accents. British, American, Australian.
English is spoken all over the world. The more accents you're familiar with, the better.
Okay, so you're actively listening, taking notes, practicing pronunciation, using transcripts, gradually increasing the difficulty.
How do you keep that momentum going? How do you make it a sustainable habit?
Well, first and foremost, choose podcasts you're genuinely interested in.
If you're bored, you're not going to stick with it.
Find topics that fascinate you, whether it's science, history, pop culture.
The more you enjoy it, the more likely you are to make it a regular part of your routine.
Another thing that really helps is finding ways to use what you're learning.
Like joining online discussion groups, practicing with a language partner.
Even just consciously trying to use new words in your everyday conversations.
The more you use it, the more it becomes a part of you.
And finally, consistency is key, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes a day.
Set realistic goals and stick to them. Over time, those minutes add up.
Small, consistent steps lead to big results.
So find podcasts you love, engage actively, use what you learn, and be consistent.
That's the recipe for success.
And remember, podcasts are just one tool in your language learning toolbox.
But they're a powerful one and a fun one.
So get out there, explore, and have fun with it.
You never know what you might discover.
We encourage you to check out those specific podcast recommendations.
Experiment. Find what works for you.
And here's a final thought for you as you embark on your podcast journey.
Think about this. Listening to podcasts can not only improve your English,
but it can also broaden your horizons, expose you to new ideas, different cultures.
What unexpected benefits might you discover along the way?
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Keep those earbuds ready and happy listening.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.